You win this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this will be a piece of cake.
Folks, welcome to the Before Hour Podcast, an internet radio phenomenon hosted by an occasional morning person. I ask the most interesting people I know about their sleep, routine, life, love, stress, and setbacks, and whatever else comes to mind. You could write to us. Our email is thebeforehourspodcast@gmail.com. But for now, good friend, fellow comedian, and YouTube sensation, Andrew Steiner. How you doing, Andrew?
Good.
Hell yeah. That's the energy we're going to have for the full hour.
I'm well.
If you could just Joaquin Phoenix, like one word answers to all my questions, that would be amazing. Have you seen that interview?
With the Letterman? Is that Letterman?
Yeah. Where he's just like blitzed out of his mind.
I can't fart now.
I don't know if the microphone picked up on it, but Andrew, right before we started rolling, told me that he, quote, had a fart in the chamber and he was going to save it for the audience. So, folks, maybe rewind that and turn it up full volume so you
Just
can hear
like
a little too.
Joaquin Phoenix did in that interview.
Did he really?
That's how he, stayed within himself so much. He was holding the fart in the entire time.
That's what they don't teach you in acting schools, that you have to have a fart in the chamber, ready to go. And then any emotion that you need to let out, like sadness, an orgasm, ecstasy, the fart will encourage any of those emotions.
Right. And especially if you're playing a despicable character, you can be like, I could disgust you at any second because, this is going to smell.
Or if you play a character where like his face just seems unpleasant, that fart can help you have an unpleasant face. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an unpleasant face.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not one I would choose to see again.
I'm an actor.
Yeah, dude, you are an actor. Actually, you had a short film, which everybody should check out after they're done listening to this podcast. We'll do the plugs at the end, but you are a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, a sensation. What that sensation is grief for the time that you've lost watching my content.
Yeah. That's a great way to plug yourself, dude. There is this weird thing where like, because I'm so self-deprecating that anytime I'm giving my plugs, I'm like, check it out. Unless you don't want to, it's really not that good.
Unless you value your time, check it out.
Hell yeah. And you were in it as the producer and main actor, and your wife was in it as the co-producer.
Yeah.
And co-actor, I'd say. She's number 2 in terms of the acting in that show. I don't want to give anything
honestly,
away.
I'd say Andrew Harms is the co-star.
Shout out to Andrew Harms, dude.
Yeah. Because he had a lot of screen time on there.
Yeah. And he played a man, and spoiler, he played a woman.
I mean, that's up to you to decide. I left that in the arms of the viewer.
Give him long hair and a dress, and you're like, it's up to the audience to determine.
I mean, I made it so you could see his chest hair, his like really hairy chest, because there's like deep neck in the dress. So I didn't want it to be like he has boobs. I just wanted him to be like kind of scary, like alternative universe version of the beautiful juggling woman.
And I actually, guys, pause this, watch his short on YouTube, and then, because I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Because I think the point of the short movie, and it's like 5 minutes, is you should... this is like asking Kubrick about... Is you should value your time with your loved ones. Because the opening of the movie is your wife, she forgets her key, so she wakes you up by ringing the doorbell, and you're all like annoyed, and she wants to cuddle, and you're like, I'm trying to sleep. And you have this awful dream where several things happen. And then the end of the movie is very sweet. You're like, I love my wife and I love my life, and I'm going to value every moment. Memento mori.
Okay, I will say that that's the layman's meaning.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That's the Neanderthal state.
I am a layman. Yeah. No. I'm the type of guy, dude, when I watch a movie, I'll like read the Wikipedia page after it and like learn what all the symbolism was that I was supposed to get.
This is it. I didn't know what the meaning was completely. Like that was the meaning I intended for it to be. But really my intention was, do you know Mr. Haruki Murakami? No.
No.
He's a writer, is like very surrealist, kind of dreamlike writer. And I love his books. And whenever I read his books, because he doesn't name his main character, I find myself identifying as the main character because The main character also usually has sex with hot women.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I relate to this guy too. Yeah. A cool guy that fucks constantly.
And it's always like weird and magical. Not always, but usually. And you just I find myself just like sucked into this world that I feel like I'm living it, you know, and I wanted to give that feeling in a short film. Not to say that I necessarily succeeded, but that was my starting intention. Okay. But when I finished the movie, or when I was close to finishing it, whatever, editing it, you know what I realized what the movie was? It was an externalization of my insecurities about my relationship with my wife.
Okay.
Where I feel like I'm an insecure person.
Okay.
You know, and we have a semi-open relationship, not like fully open. You know, she's had sex with a couple ladies. I'm not trying to get my wife, have a man dick inside my wife. I don't want that. But that's kind of the fear of losing her to like a hot lady who's more of an adult than me, or some guy in the future or something like that. I think that's what that movie was. It's an externalization of that, and like not. I guess the symbolism is like not letting those fears haunt you and impede your ability to be present and grateful, and because even if we weren't in an open relationship, I think those fears would still haunt me.
Yeah.
And so and then the whole thing, I mean, I don't care if I ruin the ending, where it's still there, you know, it's still shots with Papa Blue being in bed with me or whatever. It's like those, even when you are grateful, those fears are still there. You just don't give them power.
Yeah. That in general, to like, I feel like that's something I've struggled with. Is it's almost this thing of get rid of the bad feelings, and that's impossible.
Yeah,
it's like evolutionarily we're supposed to have some measure of anxiety because that's what keeps us from getting eaten by the tigers or whatever. You know, so it's not like get rid of the bad feelings. It's live with the bad feelings.
Yeah.
So I think that it's, you know, a testament to how much I don't pick up from watching movies like we just described.
I mean, I don't think it was that obvious.
Okay. I had a pretty good layman's interpretation of the movie, I think.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me about the open relationship. Can we talk about that?
No.
Okay. I brought it up, but absolutely not. How dare you?
Why would you fucking cross that line, Bobby? I thought you were my friend.
Guy that wrote a movie where that was the subtext, and he's like, but let's not talk about it on the podcast. I didn't do it on purpose. Yeah. Because to me, I always think of, because I can never do it. I think I'm too jealous.
Yeah.
I think that until you mentioned still being insecure about it, that I previously thought that anybody that was in an open relationship, well, fits into one of two categories. One, they're desperately trying to save their marriage. It didn't start as an open relationship, and they're like, let's do it now.
I've had that before.
And I think that's doomed from the start.
Yeah, that's brutal.
You have to like start being like, we're two open people, ready?
Yeah.
So the other side of it is I would think that people in an open relationship are like the most open people ever, which I think is true. I think you're very open.
I'm open.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of your responses are going to be your various characters that I'm unfamiliar with. I mean,
I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with them too.
You just have paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah. I'm just trying to be funny.
Well, maybe that is true. Maybe you are a very open person, but that doesn't mean that the natural jealousy that exists isn't there still.
Right. I mean, I've read a lot of books about open relationships now, or articles, and so I'm much more informed this time around, and also we're coming at it from a way different place, and not from a desperation. And I mean, to be fair, my wife has pushed harder for this than I have in our relationship, but she also hasn't rushed it, which has made me way more comfortable. Like it was two or 3 years into our relationship before, you know, either of us hooked up with anyone else. And the woman she hooked up with, then we fucked as a team, and she's really nice. I should say that because that made it sound weird.
Yeah,
we fucked her as a team, man.
the project that we finished together.
Yeah, no, she's a really lovely person, but it was really cool to like. I've never had a threesome before that, and to have a threesome and it not be with someone my wife had sex with previously, and it not be weird, and for me to make them both come, and that's cool.
Hell yeah, dude!
I'm a cool dude.
That does make you sound like a cool dude. Honestly, hell yeah!
That both suck my dick at the same time.
That's very nice.
I know. And they didn't seem like they were doing charity or anything.
Neither of them were crying. You know? Hell yeah. But no devil's threesome yet.
No. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, the idea of my wife hooking up with a dude is kind of pretty off to me, pretty off-putting. But I wouldn't take it off the table completely. I'd say as long as he's more of a bitch than me.
Yeah.
So as long as there's that. But
you're like the opposite of a cuckold. You're like, I'm looking for whatever the opposite of a bull is.
yeah, I'm going to cuck a stranger in front of my wife.
One time I was swiping on the dating apps, and I guess I wasn't paying close attention to this one profile, and I matched, and this girl was very beautiful, and I had the first thought that I always have when I match with a beautiful woman on a dating app, which is, what is the catch? And sometimes the catch is that she's just like very damaged. You know what I mean?
That can be fun.
Yeah. yes, it certainly can. Until it isn't. But the catch was she was with her husband, and they were both hot. And the guy was like, very tall, like strong jawline, like, I hate to use the terminology, but if there was a representation of Chad, this was Chad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the catch? And now I'm thinking, I'm starting to understand what the catch is.
Oh yeah.
He's like, my wife wants to fuck a man, but he's going to be a lower level man.
Yeah, unthreatening.
And that's me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not open enough. I would do 2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah.
Even that I would kind of struggle to get over, because even having sex casually, I think there is a level of intimacy I need to have. And maybe this is a weird thing on my end, but I feel like you lose a bit of intimacy when it's more than 2 people.
More than 2 people.
Yeah. So if a threesome.
Yeah.
I feel like
not more than 2 people you're fucking, just more than 2 people in general.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If I'm out to dinner with 2 people, I'm like, this could be way more better if it was just one of us.
Oh, I don't agree. I think up to like 5 people, I'm good. Not that I've had sex with more than 2 people at once, but yeah, no, there was intimacy. We went dancing first, and we were dancing together. And then she kissed the other girl. She kissed me first. She was like, "Is it okay if we kiss?" And my wife was like, "Yeah, we kiss. Yeah, do it." And it was cool. It was cool to just be the guy dancing with 2 women.
Yeah.
I've never been that guy.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it's interesting in general. Like, if we just allowed ourselves to be more free, would we be happy? And I think about men, women, whoever that like they cheat, and that's bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, very recently people have been exploring like non-monogamy. So I'm like, this could have all been avoided if like 2 non-monogamous people met each other, and then there wouldn't have to be any cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's, I don't know. I'm too new into this to be like, oh, this is the way.
Yeah.
This is because also I know myself. I catch feelings pretty easily. And I don't think my wife does, but maybe, I don't know. I just catch feelings. I fall in love. So I already, like, I didn't even go out with another woman since then, but like there was a woman I had a crush on, and I was just having like all these fantasies like, oh my God, this is going to be hard to like manage if we do wind up hooking up with. And nothing happened, but it was just like, I fall so easily.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. Like, even like I have this joke where I say I just had casual sex, and I've just been casually thinking about her ever since. Yeah, I'm kind of that. I guess I'm like on the other end of like monogamy, where I don't even feel like comfortable. Like I remember one time in 1 week I set up a date with 2 different girls, but then I fucked like the first one, and I was like, I feel dirty about going on the second date. You know what I mean?
I'm betraying you, Stephanie.
Exactly. And she's like not even thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
She's like a young Bushwick woman. She's like, yeah, like fucking, it's like shaking hands.
Yeah. If anything, she'd be like, yeah, this guy's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There is that interesting thing where a woman doesn't, she wants to be special to you, but she doesn't want to be like the first woman you fucked.
Yeah, and she doesn't want you to be desperate for her.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I also like the bisexual thing. I don't know. My wife bullied me into being bisexual.
Suck this cock right now. Yeah. Do it, pussy. Suck the cock.
I want to marry a queer guy. I want to be in a queer relationship with a straight man. And no, I am to a certain extent, but also like I don't think I'm nearly as scared of developing feelings for a dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you equally sexually attracted to men and women?
No.
So it's more women still.
I'm sexually attracted to dudes in the way that I am like, ooh, I've never looked at this porn category before.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's novel. I like novelty. And, I'm a little bisexual, but I'm not like, I think I could live without it, without ever having fucked a dude. I think I could be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting how many, once you just get rid of homophobia,
yeah,
like I think a lot of people, men and women, could be more open to, it's like that Kinsey scale thing. Like we're all like a 2 to 5 or whatever.
Yeah, we've all been attracted to a 2 to 5-year-old.
Yeah. Connor, do not clip that. There's no amount of asterisk that we can make that palatable for the algorithm.
But what I was gonna say is like, no, but but to be honest, like, yeah, I could live a probably pretty happy life without ever having had sex with a dude. But I do agree with my wife in her bullying, in that she says like I'm unlocking a part of myself that I've kind of pushed down, and I do think there's some truth to that, because I do think there is internalized homophobia that I've had, where I'm like, I'm scared. I'm already a weirdo. I'm already alienated. I've moved around a lot as a kid. I had learning disorders. I got expelled from school. Why add one more thing to I'm a Jew? Why add he likes a little ball sack shoved in his asshole,
which is how gay sex works.
Yes. It's painful for both parts. That's what they hide from you. The gay agenda is trying to hide that it's only one party that's getting hurt.
I had not to take that the beautiful opening up that you just did for us.
My butthole.
Yeah, the butthole thing. But you just remind me of the butthole thing, because I was with a woman and she wanted to put a finger in my ass, and I'm scared of that. And I said no. A, because it's scary, and B, because and I'm a cleanly, hygienic person, I think, but I'm never 100%. Maybe unless I just got out of the shower and did like a couple of scrubs.
Yeah.
I'm never confident. There's like, she's not going to pull out her finger and there's going to be some poop on it.
Well, this is the thing. Being a gay man who takes things up the butt is a lot of hard work. You gotta, first of all, a lot of gay dudes like eat for butt sex. Like their diet is influenced by the fact knowing that they want a clean digestive tract.
Okay.
That's a lot. That's a big commitment. And then also, most gay dudes or bi dudes or whatever, people who take it up the butt, women who take it up, they douche. They anally douche, like pretty thoroughly before the day of. So preparation, man.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not conscientious enough to take it up the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not committed hard enough.
I'm not committed to the bit, dude.
Yeah.
Getting fucked in the ass. Well, that's interesting to me that you were like I'm already enough of a weirdo. Why add another weird thing to it? And
my family already doesn't like me.
Really?
I mean, they love me, but I don't feel understood by them. And my family is pretty homophobic.
Okay.
Not like insanely, but you know, they whisper about my other gay cousin to me, and they're like, "Oh, I got."
And they don't know that you're bisexual, that you've been
Now they
bullied into
do.
being bisexual.
Now they do. Once this hits the internet,
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, that's it. So you are like kind of the black sheep of your family a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, we have a lot of black sheep in my family.
Okay,
But yeah,
you're one of many black. You're all black sheeps.
yeah, more or less, honestly.
What'd you get expelled at school for?
Which time?
Ooh, story time. Let's start with the first time.
The first time, preschool.
You got expelled from preschool, dude. What were you running a Tonka truck ring? What happened?
No, we had wooden blocks for some reason. I don't know why we had this was in a yeshiva, like a Jewish preparatory school.
Okay.
And we were playing blocks, or this kid was playing blocks, and I was like, "Can I play with you?" And he said, "No, because you're bisexual." I can tell. And I smashed him over the head with a wooden block.
Well, I mean, he's being biphobic, dude. You might as well.
Yeah, self-defense.
Yeah. Oh, so you really did hit a kid in the head with a block, and that one time that got you expelled?
But it was like a wooden block, you know. It was like, I think he got hurt.
Oh,
Kind of badly.
okay.
I don't think he was like in the I don't even know what happened. I do remember him being dumb after that though.
Oh shit.
So I don't know if I caused that, but I don't know.
Dude, I just went from like, come on, kid's roughhouse to like, okay, if you gave this kid permanent brain damage.
I mean, I didn't like bash him repeatedly, but I definitely hit him once with like a heavy wooden block.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was mean for him to reject you. You wanted to play with him.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever.
So this is the first time you got expelled. How many times did you get expelled?
I thought 3, 4.
4 times.
4.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, walk us through it, man.
Let's go through it, man. Let me sing it to you. Let's see if I can do this. I just dug myself a musical hole. Okay.
So for those just listening, Andrew has some sort of recording device, and he's gonna.
Looks like an alien mine, right?
Okay, so he's put. Oh, here we go.
Yo, so the first time I got expelled, my life was going through hell. My parents just got divorced, of course. I really wanted a horse for Hanukkah. First night, I didn't get a horse. Second night, I got a dreidel. What the fuck, man? You might as well got me a ladle. Do I look like a lunch lady? You're acting shady. Mom and Pop, why you doing that shit? Fighting with each other, not touching her clit? Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so that was the second time you got suspended.
No, that was the first time. I was gonna go through all, but I didn't.
Dude, it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, man.
Honestly.
Oh, shit, dude. Fuck. No, the second time was also at yeshiva. Okay, so when they expelled me from yeshiva, they put me in public school, and I was doing great. They taught me the N-word.
Okay.
My teacher taught me the N-word.
Oh, perfect.
But in a very, like back then, you could say the N-word in kindergarten.
Okay.
To a class of kindergartners in an educational context.
Seems young.
It was. That's how I lost my first best friend, because I didn't fully get what she was saying. Like she was talking about slavery and the history of slavery and
in kindergarten.
Well, it was first grade it was accelerated kindergarten. It was first grade for kindergartners.
Okay.
Which is why you should never do that. And then I had goldfish. I had 3 goldfish. And one of them was like black. Like it was
black goldfish.
Yeah. And then my best friend's mom came over and I was showing her my goldfish, and this is Leonardo and this is Donatello and this is Raphael. He's in, and yeah, I called my fish the N-word.
Oh no.
And then I wasn't allowed to play with my best friend ever again.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sad, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't be saying the N-word.
I mean, I was like 5, 6.
No, Andrew. It doesn't matter how young you are.
No.
We believe here at the 4 Hours Podcast for holding people accountable.
Yeah, it's true. I shouldn't even be on this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be allowed to.
Please
be
look
here.
into the camera and apologize.
I apologize for what I said. It was wrong. There's no excuses. Age is not an excuse. The public education system overestimating my conceptual understanding of racism is not an excuse.
To any Blackfish reading or reading, and to any Blackfish. Yeah, if you were reading this, I guess you could. We do put captions on there for. I don't know if I have any deaf listeners or deaf watchers.
Fish.
I don't know how that.
Deaf fish.
There's plenty of deaf fish in the sea, dude. First grade, kindergarten, whatever. That is too young to even be broaching the topic of. Although I do remember in second grade, we had to color in a picture of Martin Luther King.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did everyone make him white?
That would be hilarious, dude.
This guy should be white. He's really well spoken.
Yeah. Actually, he is quite loud. I will say that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially in movies.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so they put me back in the yeshiva after I was doing really well, except for the N-word, barring the N-word incident. I was doing really. And you know what's funny? And I never made this connection until just now. I called my fish the N-word, but I also saw a black girl in my class throw up a white piece of poo.
Throw up a white piece of poo.
Never had it repeated back to me so caringly. Yes. I remember I went inside at recess to go use the bathroom. I see this girl and she threw up a white piece of poo. That's all I remember really about the incident. But I've been fascinated ever since.
Like a goose poop?
No, it looked like an actual poo, but it was pale white.
Pale white, like E.T. in the end of the movie where he's by the river?
I don't remember that scene well enough. It's like the wall here.
Damn.
Just white.
So it looked like a piece. I'm sure it wasn't poo. I'm sure this poor little girl didn't eat poo.
She didn't eat it. She produced it in reverse.
There's no way. I mean, I wish we had a doctor here to explore that.
No, I've looked it up since, and there is like a thing where if you have liver issues, you can do that. That can happen. I think.
Holy shit.
Yeah, literally.
I hate that. I hate that so much. I'm usually not an anxious person in terms of like medical stuff. Like I'm like, whatever happens. Like, sure, I might get cancer one day, but fucking holy shit. If I'm throwing up poo, take me into the back and shoot me.
I don't know why my mind went there, but I just when you said I might get cancer, I thought I just imagined myself in Japan, and I'm at the doctor's, and he's like, "You are cancer," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm canceled." I knew it was gonna happen eventually. But why are you telling me?
Oh man.
So, anyways, the second expulsion.
Okay.
I get put back in the yeshiva, and this time there were lots of weird incidents. Like I remember the principal's son was severely autistic, but he would go to gym class with us, and we were playing football, and everyone jumped on top of this kid because he caught the ball, and we were just like, having fun, and then I get called into the office, and they're like, "You punched my son, my autistic son." And I was like, "No, I didn't. Everyone jumped on him. We all jumped on him. I didn't punch him." And he wouldn't believe me. He kept like interrogating me. And eventually I went to the nurse's office and I barricaded the door with the mattress. But anyway, that's not how I got expelled. I threw a chair at the vice principal. I forgot why.
You were a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're like, I didn't assault your son. You want to see what assault looks like? It's this.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's the bottom line.
Because Andrew Steiner said so.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe a little girl threw up a piece of poop and that's not even the main part of your story.
Yeah.
So what's the third time?
So then I go back to public school, different public school.
This is like Return of the Jedi for Andrew Steiner expulsions.
Yeah, I go back to public school, make it through third grade. Third grade was great. I had a teacher, Miss Ewing. She was really cool. Whenever I was being disruptive in class, she'd have me do push-ups in the aisle in between the desks. And because her daughter was like a female bodybuilder, really hot, and she brought her in for show and tell one time.
This is my daughter. She technically has pussy, but she is big like man.
Her pussy looked like walnut. And so I was cool with her. And then the next year, how did I get expelled in 4th grade? Oh, now that yeah.
These all seem like very young ages to get expelled, by the way.
Yeah.
I always think of people getting expelled like high school boys for like having a very bad fist fight in the cafeteria.
Yeah, no, bomb threats. And
Bomb
stuff
threats, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in 4th grade.
4th grade, the principal, I get sent to the principal's office, and I'm just sitting there waiting. So I start like tapping my shoe. And then the principal's office is in the main office, and her door's right there, and she can hear me tapping. And eventually she comes out and she's like, fuck, I can't get any work done. She takes my shoes away. Okay, so I'm like, I'm not gonna let this stop me from annoying you, because obviously I got you going. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
so,
the natural instinct to annoy people, which has made you a great comedian, has always existed.
Yeah, so you know how they have those at the school desks, like when you code check in, they have the pens on a chain and the clipboard.
Yeah.
So I take the pen and I'm just fucking running the chain around.
What a nudge.
Yeah. And she comes out and she restrains me physically. She like puts my arm, wrenches it behind my back to pro wrestling, and then I fucking gut punch her.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Yeah.
But listen, it's self-defense. She put hands on me first.
No, she fucked up by that's bad. That's bad mojo. Yeah. If you work at a school, you have to be aware that some kids are going to be a little annoying.
And it's one thing if you like hug them, I hug my arms to my sides, but she was like wrenching my arm behind my back.
Like a stop resisting situation because you were clicking the pen too much.
Yeah. And so
even the taking off your shoes thing seems a little invasive.
It was a little weird.
Yeah.
Mrs. McShane.
If you're listening.
If you're not dead yet, fuck you.
Yeah. And if you are dead, rest in peace.
Let's fuck.
So that's the last time.
No.
Oh my God, there's one more.
One more.
Okay.
So then we moved from Seattle to New York, and there's a New Rochelle, and
we're both Hudson Valley boys.
Oh yeah.
So how old were you when you moved to New Rochelle?
Like 10.
Okay.
10. So yeah, the year was kind of rough. You know, they put me in the special ed. They gave me a aide, like a woman to come with me from class to class. And so through that help, I'm making it through the year. And come the last day of school, I had this like deal with this kid. Like he's going to bring some cherry bombs and I'm going to steal my dad's road flare from his car and we're going to trade. But then there was this girl, he didn't bring the cherry bomb, so we couldn't trade. And there was this girl who I really had a crush on,
a flame for, you could say.
I had a flame for, and she didn't like me that way. And then I told the whole lunchroom that she had a learning disorder.
Naturally.
Yeah. And then she started dating this kid, Nikki Balco, if you're out there, let's fuck. And I saw Nikki Balco and I'm like, I have this road flare. Let's use it. And then I chased him around with it, but I didn't light it. I brought matches. I don't know why I brought matches. And I chased him around the school with it, and they expelled me because I had matches. I brought matches to school.
Oh, unrelated to the flare gun.
I mean that drew attention to the matches. You know,
that I feel like you at 10 years old should not have had access to a flare gun or matches.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that shouldn't have happened in my upbringing, but
damn, what an origin story, dude. I feel like I'm starting to understand you a little better.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned you got expelled a bunch of times, and you've also moved around a lot as a child and as an adult.
Not that much as an adult. I mean, I traveled a bunch as an adult.
Yeah.
I lived at a Zen temple in Japan for a couple months.
Okay. What brought that about?
Not getting pussy.
You're like, I gotta reach enlightenment because I'm not reaching pussy.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was doing a lot of psychedelics. And,
okay. Is this college age?
College age. I failed out of college because I was doing too many psychedelics. And then I was just like, all right, I need a guru. So I went all over Asia. My aunt got me some like Coca-Cola stock to pay for college.
Okay.
And I failed out of college. So I'm like, I'm just going to use this, buy a round the world trip ticket. And I went looking for a guru. I went to Mongolia for a couple months, which I don't know why I went to Mongolia. I went to India, went to Thailand, and eventually I found this guy Kobutsu Malone.
So how did you run into this? This is in Japan. Did you like? How does one look for a guru?
Well, I found Kobutsu when I was in Nepal, and he had these like talks online.
Okay.
Of him just like talking about the Dharma, about Buddhism. And I just emailed him, and he's like, I'm going to be in southern Japan because his son was at this monastery. So he was visiting his son. And he's like, you can meet me there. And I met him there, and, I wound up studying there with the master there.
Damn, that's crazy. And it was like a one-on-one situation? I'm so uninformed with like, I mean, I meditate, but, my relationship to meditation is like a 10-minute video every day.
I mean, that's what mine is basically now.
But you were... Like, so this guy, how does it work?
So this was a training monastery, an international training monastery, because this guy, Shodo Harada Roshi, he was told by his teacher that Buddhism is basically dying in Japan. The only way to keep things going is to spread it to the West. And a lot of teachers have come to America, but for whatever reason, he decided to open a monastery that was international in Japan. So this woman, Daichi, I forgot her, Chisan, whatever, her name is Chisan. She's great. She studied with his master too, and she basically served as his translator. And through invitation or whatever, you can go to this monastery from anywhere around the world and get instruction in English in a traditional 300-year-old Japanese Zen training monastery. It's pretty special place, really beautiful place. And so it's intense. It's like you wake up at 3:30 in the morning every day, and you chant and you meditate and listen to lectures, and you eat communally and you work communally, and you meditate for 6 to 8 hours a day minimum, sometimes 12 hours a day during intensives. And it's just really like, you will get enlightened now.
Enlightenment boot camp?
It really is like Navy SEALs for enlightenment.
Drop and give me 20 hours of meditation.
Yeah.
Wow. Because to be honest with you, I do 10 minutes of meditation a day, and I am like really committed to that. Like, I make sure no matter how busy I am that I sit down and do that. And sometimes that feels like work because sometimes I'm so consumed by my own thoughts that even to be alone with them for 10 minutes feels a bit arduous. Like I've never I think one time I tried to do 20 minutes and I was like, that was a little unpleasant. I don't know about doing that again. So you've done hours.
I've done hours.
What does it feel like to meditate for hours?
Well, they do break it up a little bit. Okay. Usually it is 20 minutes at a time. Okay. And then you do like a walking meditation. Well, you can take a piss if you want, and then we go back to another 20 minutes. Usually it's like that. Not always, but it does have a cumulative effect, especially when you're good at it. Like back then I was 21 years old, so I was not a master of my mind or emotions at all. So a lot of it was like fooling myself into thinking I was meditating more clearly than I was, which can kind of be damaging, can kind of be counterproductive because a lot of times I was like, oh yeah, I'm really focused. I'm not feeling anything or thinking anything, but I'm just like repressing thoughts and feelings, and that is not good for you. But once I got better, you do enter this state where it's like your mind feels like this really, really still pool. And then every now and again, you'll have a thought and it feels like waves going through the pool. And it's like pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It sounds like something I would want because I am all waves right now.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty wavy guy in that respect.
Go on a meditation retreat. It's not going to be easy. You're going to want to quit, but there is something that can be learned by doing intensive meditation that you can't really get otherwise, like for an extended period of time. Like if you're doing it the right way, it can be really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah,
just a 1 day retreat, honestly. I'd recommend starting with like a half day or a 1 day, then work up to a 3 day. And then if you want to do like a week or 10 day, then
yeah, I would be well, to be honest, I'd be intimidated by a half day retreat, but I would definitely have to start there.
Yeah, half day, you're going to get a lot out of it because it's like anything, once you gain momentum, it becomes easier. Like you hit your first open mic or the first open mic in a few days, it's a lot harder than if you just hit one and you can go to and do another one. It's not nearly so intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, because when I do my 10-minute meditations, there's some days where I clear my mind enough that I'm cognizant of when a thought enters. But that's like the best I could do. There are some days where for the full 10 minutes, like I do guided meditation, and there's some days where whenever the guy starts talking, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm meditating. And when I have a particularly like crowded mind, I get good, quote unquote, good at literally ignoring the voice that I specifically put in to help me meditate. My thoughts can get so loud, quote unquote loud, that I don't even recognize it's the instructions that are being
you get sucked into your own thoughts.
So I think I'm like, man, if more often than not I struggle with the 10 minutes, what would an hour or 2 hours feel like?
Yeah, I mean, it's like muscle memory. You got to build it up over time, and the more intensely you practice it, the better your skill gets at like just seeing a thought or feeling and kind of acknowledging it, and then just like kind of waiting for it to go away by itself.
Is there, because you're in the top 1% of meditation, I think.
Maybe.
No, I would say the fact that you've ever gone on a retreat ever puts you in the top.
I guess so. I guess because, not that many religious traditions have meditation. And even if all Buddhists in the world are probably 1% of the population, maybe something like that.
I did a meditation in high school. I went to a Catholic school, and this was when I was a freshman. So I still believed in God. I was very Catholic until about 16 years old. And so I was young enough that I was still very much a firm believer. And then I was, there was this guy that came, he was Catholic, but like sort of like the hippie variety. And he taught us how to meditate. And we did it for like 20 minutes, but it was a guided meditation, and it involved Jesus, like your personal relationship with Jesus, and just the embodiment of like love and acceptance and non-judgment, and all of that stuff. And I thought we did it for like 2 minutes, and he was like, by the way, just so you know, that was 20 minutes.
Wow.
And so like it transcended time.
Yeah.
And I felt like so good. And I started smoking pot when I was 14. So I was already like, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was like self-medicating, I guess, just feeling like uncomfortable in my skin and anxious in general and sad. And I remember feeling when he told us that was 20 minutes and it felt like 2 minutes. And I felt good in a way that like it was better than drugs basically, right. And healthier than drugs. And I was like, damn, that was amazing. And then, I sort of like a few years later, I'm like, actually, this God stuff doesn't make sense. And then I sort of, because I thought I had to, I threw the baby out with the bathwater. Right. I was like, well, this God thing is bullshit. So that experience I had with meditation is also bullshit. Right. And here's alcohol, which is so much worse than meditation.
Or weed.
Yeah, it really is, dude. Yeah. It's a cheat. It's almost like, I think substances are almost like a cheat code. Yeah. Because you could sit for 10 minutes and nothing happens. But if you take a substance, something will happen.
You'll probably feel better in the short term. But in the long term, you probably feel way worse.
And it's because the internet was still in its infancy. Yeah. Like you and I are around the same age. So like there was no one to tell me like, hey, that transformative experience that you had in the context of Catholicism, it doesn't necessitate Catholicism.
Right.
You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. And there also are like really cool traditions of meditation in pretty much all religions, you know, like Islam has Sufism, there's Kabbalah, there's Gnosticism, there's ceremonial magic, like really anything where you're kind of like practicing a certain mind state that's more refined and open, then I feel like it's good.
What led you to seeking a guru and meditation and mindfulness in general?
I mean, I was one of those Japanese weeaboo nerds, so I'd kind of like heard about Zen Buddhism and stuff like that through that, and like the samurai way and all that stuff. But I also just started doing psychedelics and like feeling like, oh, I'm one with everything, man. Yeah.
But that's sort of interesting at 21 years old to start doing psychedelics and be interested in Japanese culture, but to take it like further than that. For anything at that young of an age to have the maturity of being like, what if I experience the ecstasy that I get from substances in a like more healthy, sustainable way?
But I also think there was a profound feeling of helplessness and being lost, and like, I can't do this on my own. I can't see myself clearly, so I need someone to tell me what I'm missing in my own self-image. And be like, hey, you should do this instead. So there was kind of like a wanting to step back from personal responsibility and feeling overwhelmed with all the responsibility I had. There was definitely that. Like, I remember deeply believing like, I need someone to reflect, to see me clearer than I can see, like, you know. So there was that for sure.
Now, so you're with this guru in Japan. And how long does this go on for?
Just 2 months. I was supposed to stay there for a year, and after 2 months, like I told you, I was like repressing a lot while I was meditating, and it started leading to just like emotional outbursts. Like, like I hit a kid with a block at the monastery and threw the chair at the master.
you just have this cyclical loop. Yeah. They're like, I don't know why we were 21 years old. I don't know why we were playing with blocks, but you know, the road to enlightenment is bumpy and complicated.
Yeah, I regressed. No, I did start feeling like anger, like rage things. And when I left the monastery, I fell into the deepest depression I've ever been in.
Okay.
I think partly because when you're in like, it was really a community, whether or not it was like a little culty or a little bit like anti-intellectual, like it wasn't a perfect place. It definitely wasn't like a manipulative place, but it was also kind of like, sex is bad. Don't think, just be in the moment, you know, just enlightenment is the only thing that's important. But when I left the monastery and going from like having a really focused community where you spend time with all these people, all, you know, to living in my mom's living room and in New Rochelle, it was super depressing. Like, and I worked my way out of that through music, weirdly enough, just like through having some kind of discipline that I was committed to, like practicing every day and being like, okay, yeah, I can do something at least.
Yeah. I mean, we heard an example of your music.
Yeah, man. Now I feel depressed all over again. Yeah. After having sung that.
Yeah, you actually have to go back to your mom's house in New Rochelle now.
Yeah, I was just there actually this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the living room, same living room.
Okay. That is a trip when you're like back at your, because my parents live at the same house that I grew up in. And so when I go visit them, I'm in the same room and it does bring back some memories. You know, you're like, damn, this is where like the first place I jacked off in. You know, the first place I like did everything in, you know, the my childhood bed, you know what I mean? And then you're like, and now I'm an adult. It's kind of, it's interesting. It's an interesting feeling.
It's weird sleeping with my wife in that bed.
Yeah.
Especially since my mom, she has a 1-bedroom apartment. So there's just like paper folding screens separating the living room from where my bed is.
Right.
I mean, I didn't spend my entire childhood there, but like from 18 on, you know, That was where I slept.
Where does Papa Snyder live? Steiner, sorry. I made you a Snyder for a second.
Fucking like the pretzels, man.
Yeah.
No, he lives in Riverdale. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, California?
No.
Riverdale?
Bronx.
Oh. Is there? Oh, I'm thinking Riverside. I'm an idiot, dude.
It's all right, man. We're cool. We're cool.
So, and your parents are divorced?
No. Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, they're married, but they live in different places.
And they're married, also married to other people.
Oh, okay.
Not just my dad. My mom's sad. Actually, she just met a nice old black man.
Ooh.
In the garden. He picked her up and she's like, I got cancer. And he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Beautiful, man. Hell yeah, dude. You got a black daddy now.
I know. I'm excited. I haven't met him yet. I haven't met my new black dad, but I'm excited to one day.
Yeah. It's a interesting experience to me when you meet, because my parents are married. So not to flex or anything. But
for some reason, I didn't think that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm a comedian?
I don't know. Just the way you talked about your mom, I was like, I guess she was a single mom guy.
Oh, interesting. How did I talk about my mom?
Just without any mention of your dad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. He did work a lot when I was little.
Yeah.
Which I felt no way about. Because like even now, like, I don't know, my mom will make jokes, but I'm like, I mean, it is what you have to do. You know, they had a very traditional marriage. In fact, my mom like jokes that she was surprised that she had to work at all because at some point the nature of the economy, it's like, yeah, it's, unless you're a fucking millionaire, right. It is a dual income household situation, even with only one kid, because I'm an only child. But yeah, my dad worked 12-hour days a lot. But yeah, so that experience of like your mom or your dad is like dating someone new is something I haven't experienced. So yeah,
wow.
Obviously,
not that you've known about.
Yeah, that's true. No, I don't think, maybe.
Probably not.
I don't think so. I don't think my parents, I actually, you know what? It's one of the few things I'm certain of. I don't think they have. Yeah.
But, your mom was kind of dating you.
Yeah, if you think about it. Wait, what?
I mean, kind of. When you have a kid for the first time, you're an only child?
Only child,
like me.
Yeah. You're an only child too?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. For when you have a kid for the first time, I imagine it's kind of like you're sharing as a guy, you're sharing the attention that you were getting with a new person. So it's almost like your wife is dating your baby.
Yeah. It's almost
Except
like that. Yeah. I mean, we're both
not.
sucking on the titties.
Right.
Actually, I was a formula baby. By the way, women, if you're thinking about not breastfeeding, that's fine. That's your right. That's your prerogative. But just keep in mind, take a look at this.
Look
this
how
is formula,
small
baby.
Bobby is.
I'm very tiny, dude. Well, my dad's short too, but he has like a big body. So I think I would have been short regardless, but I think I have a smaller frame because I was born premature.
Oh shit.
But I think that the formula didn't help.
Is that what you call your dad, big body? Hey, big body. Hey, little body.
Oh, that's so uncomfortable, dude. I'm dating my mom and calling my dad big body.
Did your dad ever try to fuck in front of you?
Andrew, you're not going to believe this, but no one has ever asked me that question before. No, I don't think so. And I also spent the bulk of my childhood in the basement of my house.
Oh, wow.
So I never even like heard my parents fuck. I don't think so.
I haven't heard my parents fuck each other, but I heard my dad, like one time I tried to go sleep in my parents' bed. I was probably like 5 or 6. I don't know. My dad was trying to bang while I was in the bed.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, my mom was like, what are you doing? Right
Did he
there.
not know you were there?
He didn't give a shit.
That's
I think
wild.
He was probably drunk. He was probably high on cocaine and drunk.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing. I don't know. Allegedly. No cocaine, probably. Never mind the cocaine.
I don't think the cops are listening to this episode.
I'm just thinking my dad listens.
Yeah.
Don't make this the clip, please.
Was he, if you don't mind me asking, was he a drug and alcohol guy?
Yes. Not for my whole upbringing, but yeah, to a certain extent. Like I think from age probably like 3 to 10, he was really probably hitting the booze pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
That must have been difficult.
It was. I didn't realize what was happening because he wasn't like a staggering around drunk guy. He was just angrier and more grumpy than normal.
Do you think that like contributed to like you acting out
For
in
sure.
school?
Because he would hit me, you know, he wouldn't like beat the shit out of me, but he would like go into a rage and like hit me.
See, that's because like a lot of people, it's interesting as millennials, like some of us got hit and some of us didn't, but there is certainly a difference between getting hit because that's how your parents believe in discipline and getting hit because your father is angry, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Well, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, you just start crying.
But yeah, my dad tried to fuck in front of me, and that was probably a bad thing to have happened. You know, and I remember it vividly.
Oh, okay.
You know,
and if you're that young and I feel like if you're that young and you remember something, then it was important in some way.
I remember he turned red. And it seemed like he levitated across the bed towards my mom. Like a big red angry magnet.
All right. Excuse me. I'm sure the listeners are really annoyed by me having to clear my throat, but I got a pretty serious frog in it. So
Sorry.
Please hold.
Yeah.
I like that. I was like, we have to stop this conversation.
You stop talking too.
Because I have to clear my throat, not because might be a conversation that we should have in a therapist's office.
I'm like, I'm going to let the dead air go. I'm just going to wait for you. But what were we talking about besides that?
Well, what brought you to meditation? And you know, because that's a very unique experience to at 21 years old to be like,
said this already. No, we weren't talking about that.
We were. Yeah, we were. I asked you what brought you to meditation.
Psychedelics. Just that.
My relationship with meditation. And I feel like in different ways, it comes from the same places that you're not 100% content with yourself. If you lean more towards negative thoughts as opposed to positive thoughts, I think you're attracted to meditation. Because if you're having generally positive thoughts, then why shut the thoughts off? Why have that impulse?
True. Or if you're overthinking. You know, some people don't have an internal monologue.
That's kind of crazy to me.
They just don't.
I almost don't believe them.
I believe them.
Really?
And I think those people are stupid.
Ooh, ice cream's good. And that's
they don't even have that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. They just don't think in a voice to themselves. Maybe they think visually to themselves. You know, yeah, those people love Taylor Swift.
Okay, big conversation on Twitter. What is Taylor Swift for boys?
I was just talking about this. What is Taylor Swift for boys? Oh, no. That wasn't what I was talking about. But I was saying...
I was thinking about why my dad tried to fuck my mom in front of me.
I was just visualizing it. No, I was saying that Harry Potter is for like book readers as Taylor Swift is for music.
Oh, okay. So a woman liking Harry Potter...
or a boy.
Well, for me, controversial. A woman liking Harry Potter gives me a little bit of the ick.
Yeah, because there are other books. There are way better books.
Yeah.
And you're just obsessed with this and you're going to reread this over and over and over again?
I don't know. It's one of those things too where I read it as a adolescent. I read the first book and I watched the first movie and then I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
This is not. I gave it the good old college try because people around me. I feel like it was the next level after Pokemon cards. I wasn't super into Pokemon cards either.
I was.
But that's what made me, because I was young enough when Pokemon came out that I was like, I don't like this, but I have to do it. And then once Harry Potter was popular, I was like, I guess at least enough comfortable enough with myself that I was like, if I don't like this, I don't have to pretend to like it. And I could still have friends.
Yeah.
But you were into Pokemon.
I was into Pokemon, not so much Harry Potter. But yeah, I in general just hate anything where it's a bandwagon thing where everyone feels like they have to do it. That's kind of why I hate like football and basketball. It's like, yeah, I get the appeal. 2 minutes left.
2-minute warning. We were just talking about football.
Football, yeah, exactly.
I've appreciated sports like more. I'm not a sports guy, but I enjoy the communal aspect of it now because I feel like as I get older, I'm like, oh, well, this is important. You know what I mean? Whereas like, I feel like as an angsty teenager, I was like hyper individualism almost, where I thought I'm like, well, if I don't like something, I won't even key into it like a little bit.
Sociologically, I think sports are important because they give men a outlet that is not killing each other in which to be a facsimile of war. Like football is very much just war without guns and weapons. You know, it's just like, you know, tactical taking over of space. So and the MMA obviously is like one-on-one combat. I don't know about basketball, but
and you were a fighter for a little while. We didn't even. It's so funny we didn't even cover that.
Don't you dare fucking.
And I don't mean as a preschooler. I mean like as an adult in a competition sense.
Not in the. I never had a pro fight. Like I never did. I competed in judo, but I not enough to be like I was a fighter, man.
I've had a friend that's been. Your wife is bullying you into being bisexual. My friend is trying to bully me into doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I don't want to do it.
Who, Jesse?
Jesse Montanez, friend of the show. He's been on the podcast before. I think Jesse. On the podcast is when he started being like, because I like working out, but I'm afraid of injury, and I feel like you could get injured by working out, but you could really. I'm afraid of hurting my neck.
Look what happened to me.
You're gonna show us a scar?
I'll show you a big fucking scar from jiu-jitsu club in college.
Okay, for those just listening, this is it's quite the big scar on your forearm.
Honestly, that's from the surgery because I just had a long hairline fracture and they put in plates in my arm. I dislocated my wrist and shit. I couldn't bend my thumb for a very long time. So yeah, you will get fucked up if you really like are not super careful about it. But at the same time, it is pretty great.
So Andrew, if people want to DM you pictures of their scars, how can they do that?
At Andrew Steiner without the A on Instagram, because I said the N word that one time, so I just put at Andrew. You know? Please go on YouTube.
What's your YouTube handle?
At Andrew Steiner, the same one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Andrew Steiner on everything, I guess.
Yeah.
You're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, or you're on X?
No Twitter, no X,
no TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
You're on TikTok.
Yeah.
I imagine you do well on TikTok, dude.
No.
Well, guys, don't check out his TikTok, but check out his Instagram and his YouTube page. Like, super funny. You said it yourself, a YouTube sensation. So I appreciate it, man. We'll definitely have you back. And folks, remember, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm just playing Night Owls. You know I love you.